Alright, I gotta try to redeem myself here. We are, so this one, we're in the LevelUp 737-900ER. And so the goal is to get this 737-900ER from Detroit to St. Paul. So we're taking a flight from Detroit to St. Paul. Be a kind of a Delta red eye in so many words. So anyway, ought to be a ought to be a good flight. I can't believe it. Our last flight was we actually had a yoke failure. So yoke was on me on that flight. So for this one, let's bring up some ground power. And some lights just to get everything squared away. We're going to go ahead and get the APU going too, I think, for this one. Anti-collision and position light active. And left and right tanks, hydraulics are on. We are going to initialize our IRS, get our position going. And take a quick look out the windows. I do like LevelUp does a good, this is where LevelUp shines. The inside interior is classy. It is. It's nice. Much newer looking, like a newer looking car. And they look pretty good. Right, our init ref, we're going to go to our coordinates, put the IRS information in there so we can get some nice colors to pop up. We're going to request our flight plan. Get that loaded. Okay. And then we check our legs and look. Oh, lo and behold, I got a discontinuity. So we're going to put that. So we're going to be going to SILAP first, I think. And according to our flight plan, we are going to be coming in on runway 12 left in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So we're banking on runway 12, ILS runway 12 left. Muzzle approach, that's correct. Okay. With a vector in there, and I'm going to leave that in place. We're going to go ahead to airside services and get some activity going there. Take a look outside. Baby. I think the 737-900's range is a little bit better, but for what we're doing right here, it doesn't matter. Could not matter less.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Delta Sky Team and our global partners, welcome on board your Delta flight going to Minneapolis St. Paul International Airport. As you're making your way to your seat, we kindly ask that you please step into your row and out of the aisle as quickly as possible. Allow those passengers behind you to make their way to their seat as well. If you're traveling with a larger rollerboard, please place it in the overhead bins, either wheels or handles first, on either side of the aircraft. Keeping in mind that the overhead bin space is shared space, so if the bin directly above your seat is already full, please go ahead and utilize the next available space. If you brought in a second item with you, such as a briefcase, tote bag, laptop bag, backpack, we can go ahead and utilize that space under the seat in front of you, so that we can utilize that overhead bin space for your larger bags without having to check them plain sight to your final destination. Feel free to utilize your mobile phones, tablets, and e-readers while we're here at the gate. However, once we close our boarding door, you must please place these items into airplane mode or turn off your cellular service. So I'd like to thank you all for choosing to fly Delta. Welcome on board.
Brian, do you want to go ahead and get our IFR clearance?
Sure, I'll handle that.
Metro clearance, Delta 13031. We'd like to receive our IFR clearance. We have uniform.
Clearance on request. Stand by.
Our altimeter for this flight is 29.82. And I do not have my, we're going to fix that. What I'm looking for is synchronizing. We need to synchronize everything. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Delta 13031. Metro clearance. Cleared to Minneapolis via the MiGi 3 departure, then is filed. Climb and maintain 4000. Expect flight level 360 10 minutes after departure. Departure on 124.05 squawk 3614. Expect runway 3 left.
So what we're looking for right now is just I'm trying to find the setting to synchronize my altimeters.
Good evening, clearance. Good evening, clearance. Delta 1187, request EFR, Boston, with information Bravo. Ready to copy? Give me 1 second for that clearance. Clearance to Boston via highway for departure. Initial climb 4000. Then climb to 350, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 124.05, squawk 2644. And take off runway 22 left, Delta 1187.
General, I bet you, yeah, there it is. Minimums, hide yoke, da 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 da. We've got things set to pounds right now for our global units, that's fine. Sync pilot QNH with captain. Sync pilot standby, captain. And I'm going to say hide cockpit seats just because it's a lot easier to kind of, so you for visual reasons, it's easier if the seats aren't there. And I have a nice comfortable chair I'm sitting in, so I'm good. So that's why I do that. Okay, now that's better. And so that should sync up the secondary also, and it does. Okay, so when I initiate like the standard STD, it automatically does it for me, so it's better. Okay.
Detroit Metro Wing clearance. Bonanza, November 123 Alpha Zulu, looking for VFR clearance to Miami. Cleared out of Detroit Class Bravo airspace, Miami, VFR at or below 1,500 feet, departures on 118.95, squawk 4237, November 123 Alpha. Skyhawk 3 Alpha Zulu, read that correct.
Postman for Echo Papa, request IFR to Lima Echo Mike Delta with information 0. I am working on that clear. Stand by. Postman for Echo Papa, information Zulu is correct. Cleared to Baraka. After departure, fly radar vector 0, departure runway 6. Initial climb to 5,000. Departure on 121.055, squawk 312.
Alright, we're going out on runway 03 left, and it's yeah, it's still a long runway. It's closer to us right now, in fact. From here forward, you're in charge of all comms, right?
I'll take over the comms from here.
has flight level vector November Victor Oscar, level to runway 6, initial climb to 5,000, level to on 121, decimal 055, subscribe 2312, Postman 4 de Copapa.
Like I said, for the realism, I upped the speed for loading to save some time. There we go. So now I can go to our flight plan, and we have our reserves are 8.8.
Stand Alpha 54 with information echo on board request 9 Fox over to Minneapolis.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
And our takeoff is 15 flaps.
All right, we've got everyone strapped in. Give us a ring if you need anything.
We're cleared to Minneapolis.
143, 145, and 152.
Right, initial climb 4,000. Start the radio 124.05 and with squawk 4352 for Delta 1608 Heavy.
Brian, we need taxi clearance.
Ground to cockpit.
I'll
Please
request
show
taxi
me where
clearance
you
now.
want to go. Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up. Over clearance, Zulu 65, ready to copy IFR clearance to Amsterdam with information November. Zulu 65.
Metro Ground, Delta 13031, ready to taxi. We have uniform.
Delta 13031, Metro Ground, taxi to runway 3 left via Uniform 9er, Uniform Foxtrot, Mike 1.
Gotcha.
Runway 3 left, Uniform 9er, Uniform Foxtrot, Mike 1, Delta 13031.
Zulu 65, Belgrade Ground, contact tower on 118.1.
The 737, let's talk about that.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Millie, talk about the difference between the 737-800 and the 737-900.
The main difference between the Boeing 737, 800 and the 737, 900 lies in their capacity and range. The 737, 900 typically has a higher passenger capacity, accommodating more seats, while the 737, 800 is slightly shorter and has a bit less range. Additionally, the 737-900ER variant offers increased range and can be equipped with winglets for improved fuel efficiency. Both aircraft share similar cockpit layouts and systems, making them easier for pilots to transition between.
Starting pushback. And you may
Understanding these differences can help you optimize your flight planning and passenger management.
I agree with you though. It does like
Flight attendants, prepare your doors for departure, please. Cross-check and all call. Once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on board your Delta flight. So in just a moment, we'll be showing you a brief presentation on the safety features of this aircraft. We kindly ask that you please direct your attention to the video monitors and flight attendants in the aisle, even if you are a frequent flyer. Thank you so much.
Welcome aboard, and thank you for choosing Delta for 100 years and counting.
Delta.
Delta. Delta.
Delta Airlines.
The health and safety of our customers and crew is our #1 priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices, including mobile phones, should also be secured.
Keep the aisles, exits, and bulkhead areas clear. If you lose an electronic device in your seat, please do not adjust your seat and ask a crew member for help.
As we leave the gate, fasten your seatbelt by inserting the metal tip into the buckle and adjusting the strap so it's low and tight across your lap. To release, lift the top of the buckle. If your seat has a shoulder harness, attach the metal tip to the fitting on the belt. To release, push the metal tip down. Stay seated with your seatbelt fastened when the seatbelt sign is on, and keep it fastened whenever you're seated in case of sudden rough air. In the event of rough air, the crew might also need to buckle up for safety. We appreciate your understanding if our service is interrupted.
Federal regulations require all passengers to comply with all crew members' instructions, along with the posted placards and lighted information signs throughout the cabin. Smoking, vaping, the use of e-cigarettes or any smokeless product, including chewing tobacco, is not allowed on any Delta flight. Federal law prohibits tampering with, disabling, or destroying restroom smoke detectors.
There are 8 exits on this plane, 8 doors, 4 on each side. Each door has a detachable slide that can be used as a raft.
In the event of an evacuation, leave all bags behind. Carry-in baggage will slow the evacuation. All exits are clearly marked with the green exit symbol. Locate the nearest exits, and remember, they might be behind you. If we lose power, lights will illuminate the aisles to guide you to an exit.
And have a great flight.
It's unlikely, but if cabin pressure changes, oxygen masks will drop from the panels above your seat and inside the lavatories. Reach up and pull a mask or streamer down to start the flow of oxygen. Remove any face covering and place the mask over your nose and mouth. Slip the elastic strap over your head and adjust the mask if necessary. Breathe normally and note the oxygen is flowing, so don't worry if the bag doesn't inflate. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case, life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head, wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached
Brian,
to
we're
each
ready
vest.
for taxi
For
clearance.
children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure
Never
the
mind.
strap
We already
between
have
the
it.
legs.
Cleared to taxi
See
to
your
runway
safety
3
card
left
for
via
more
uniform 9er,
information.
uniform
Additional
Foxtrot,
life
Mike
vests for
Mike 1.
in-lab children are in marked compartments.
We've got our
at the
taxi
front
clearance to
and
runway
rear
3
of
left
the
via
plane.
uniform
We'll
9er,
distribute
uniform
these vests if
Foxtrot, Mike Mike
necessary.
1.
Before takeoff, bring your seat to its upright position and stow your tray table,
Metro Ground
footrest,
Delta
and leg rest.
13031. Proceed
Be
to
sure
runway
you
3
fasten
left
your
via
seatbelt
uniform
low
9er.
and tight
Uniform
across your lap.
Foxtrot, Mike Mike 1
Carry-on
holding
items
uniform.
secured, and armrests are at resting
Delta
position.
13031,
otherwise
taxi to runway
indicated on
3
the
left
placard
via
in front of
uniform
you.
9er, uniform
If you have a
Foxtrot,
suite
Mike
door,
1.
ensure it's open. See placard instructions inside the suite door for opening instructions in case of emergency. Finally, take a moment to review the safety information card in your seat pocket.
As we finish our safety check, please let us know if you have any questions.
As we take off into the future, sit back and relax. And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta, today and for the next 100 years.
Alright, when we get down here to the whole short line, we will run through a couple of things on our checklist for takeoff. Okay. First of all, we'll set our engines to continuous for takeoff. Flaps to 5. Flaps to 15, and I have to move it 5 times, but it's 15. Speed brake is armed. RTO is set. Clocks are started. And Brian, we're ready for takeoff clearance.
I'll request takeoff clearance now.
Metro Tower, Delta 13031, holding short of runway 3 left, ready to depart.
Alright, just waiting on that clearance. Come on.
Welcome to Detroit. Contact ground on 132.725. Ground 3272, Delta 1683, good day. Delta, contact departure on 118.905.
American 2554, requesting takeoff clearance.
American 2554 Heavy, runway 17 right, winds 170 at 13. RNAV BR cleared for takeoff.
Brian, do you want to see if they missed us?
I'll confirm our taxi clearance with ground.
Brian, we need takeoff clearance. Check with them on our takeoff clearance.
I'll request takeoff clearance now.
Echo Baba, holding on short runway 06, ready to departure.
Metro Tower, Delta 13031, holding short of runway 3 left, ready for takeoff.
Clear to land, Qantas 22916. Postman for Echo Papa, holding on short runway 06, ready for departure. radio check.
Postman 4 Echo, Papa, Köln-Bonn Airport Tower, Roger, readability 5.
American 319, Miami Tower, roger, continue approach. Winds 255 at 6, runway 27, cleared to land.
Postman 4 Echo Papa, hold it on to runway 06, awaiting for permission for departure.
American 0041, welcome to Metro. Contact ground on 132.725. 725, American 041. American 0041, contact departure on 124.05. 124.05, American 041.
Postman 4 Echo Papa, 22 flight, 22 departure.
Delta 13031 Alpha, we are holding short at 3 left. We are waiting for our takeoff clearance. Delta 13031 Alpha, holding short runway 3 left for takeoff clearance, ready for departure.
I'll grab that clearance. Give me just a minute.
They're really slow tonight, and I'm not sure what's up with that. Guess you could run into this at a regular airport too. Come on, I'm trying to be good. Dallas 13031 Alpha, if there's we really are burning a lot of fuel and need our takeoff clearance at runway 3 left.
Detroit departure, Delta 13031, cleared to Minneapolis via MIGI 3 departure, then is filed. Climb to and maintain 4,000. Expect flight level 360 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency is 124.05. Squawk 3614.
Delta 13031, read back correct. Delta 13031, read back correct. Departure America 1728, request IFR clearance to Philadelphia. On that clearance, stand by.
Delta 13031 Alpha, we are holding short at runway 3 left, trying to get takeoff clearance.
Turkish 556, ready for takeoff.
This would be a deviation in real life, but we're not waiting. If this were real life, I wouldn't be doing this, though. We gotta go. I will say this, the 900, 737, 900 variant, it's peppy. And LevelUp did a good job on this one, too. Gear up. Flaps to 5. LevelUp has better sounds. Sounds more like it.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we climb to our cruising altitude, I'd like to extend a special thank you to each of you, and welcome back to our SkyMile members and Million Milers. Your business and loyalty are greatly appreciated by the entire Delta family. For your safety, it's important to remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened anytime the seatbelt sign is on. Even if the sign is off, please keep your seatbelt fastened in case we experience any unexpected rough air. We ask that you also please remember to use caution when opening the overhead bins. To prevent injury, articles that may have shifted during takeoff. Now reach an altitude where it's safe to use approved electronic devices, and a listing of these devices can be found in the Sky magazine in the seat pockets in front of you. On today's flight in the economy cabin, it will be our pleasure to offer you complimentary Coca-Cola products, Starbucks coffee, water, juices, a variety of complimentary snacks, as well as a selection of our fresh eats items and all-day goodies. Beer, wine, and spirits are available complimentary for our first class and Delta Comfort Plus passengers, as well as available for purchase for the economy cabin. A complete listing of available beverages, as well as of our fresh eats items, can be found in the menus in your seat pocket. Please be reminded that Delta accepts only major credit or debit cards for onboard purchases of beverages and snacks. However, you can use your Delta SkyMiles American Express card to save 50% and earn double miles on all Delta purchases. For your your enjoyment, each seat is equipped with your own personal entertainment system. On it, you can view a selection of complimentary as well as on-demand TV shows, movies, and music. You'll find that this screen will work best with just a light tap of your fingertip. Feel free to use your own headsets. Otherwise, if you do need a headset, just let a flight attendant know they are yours complimentary for this and any future Delta flights.
Alright, so we are climbing now. We're at 11,000 feet. Kind of a slow climb. We'll go ahead and take care of our init ref here, where we have our arrival information, which is 110.70. 110.70. Okay. And our VREF will be 40 flaps at 144. VREF is set. Also, see if we get our descent winds. Two 968 is our QNH for our arrival. Okay. Alright, and we're coming in on runway 12 left. So we'll get our flight directors set to 120. I will say our climb is a lot more slow and deliberate. Then again, our QNH, looking at our QNH, air's a little bit thicker. Minneapolis elevation is 842. The physics and just the movement in the cockpit, that right there is so real life. They did just a good job on that. Right, we're about 386 miles out of Minneapolis. What basically we're going to do is we'll jump up to 36,000 and stay up there for about 10 minutes and come right back down, probably. Maybe a little longer, 10 minutes. We're on autopilot. VNav is helping us navigate our ascent and descent, and LNav is taking care of the rest of it. We're just now at 30,000, and it's been a kind of a slow ascent. Got a little bit of bounce there. Alright, we're already up to 32,000. And we will probably do a little speed intervention to speed up a little bit once we get up to climb cruise altitude.
House 2.
I don't know if we get a lot out of this. Let's see, what is our... I don't know. We might. Let's try it. Nelly, what is our speed right now in miles per hour?
Our current ground speed is 454 knots, which is approximately 522 miles per hour. That's pretty fast. Keep an eye on your speed management as we prepare for our approach.
Helicopter 4547 Tango. LaGuardia Tower, you're leaving the Bravo airspace. Remain outside the Bravo. Frequency change approved. Good day, sir.
Alright, so we'll probably we'll be starting our descent in about 30 minutes. Alright. So we're at 0.81 Mach 0.81. This was giving us that 522 miles per hour. Our flight directors are set to 120 for runway 12. Our QNH is already set. Alright, let's see. we're crossing the lakes. Alright, 286. 286 miles from the airport. We're coming in on a course to where we're going to need to transition. Check our bleed off that little speed that we have there. Good job, baby. Come here. Come here. I don't know why
American 1276, contact Chicago approach on 133.625.
cabin altitude would be out of sorts. Let's investigate.
For American 1276, good night.
Did you see what I didn't do when we took off earlier? Two of my hydraulics right here, hydraulic pumps, I did not have on. That would be a major problem on a real flight, I think. Alright, we're at about 217 miles from Minneapolis, still at 360, and we're about 15 minutes away from descent. That's beautiful. At 199 from the airport. Brian, we're ready to get clearance to begin our descent for our arrival.
We're still a bit out for descent clearance. I'll keep an eye on it.
American 2554, heavy, Albuquerque Center. Good evening.
Delta 13031 requesting descent clearance at your discretion.
Delta 13031, radar contact. Descend and maintain 12000 direct Lu.
Descend and maintain 12000 direct Lu, Delta 13031.
When should we expect to start descent?
Delta 13031, expect the Muscle 3 arrival. Prepare to descend in roughly 10 minutes. Reach out if you want an early start.
Expecting the Muscle 3 arrival. We'll prepare to descend in about 10 minutes. Delta 13031.
Delta 13031, contact Minneapolis Center on 124.4.
Switching to Minneapolis 31. Minneapolis Center, Delta 13031, evening, maintaining flight level 360.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Center, good evening.
Please prepare the cab for arrival.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have begun our initial descent. At this time, we ask that you kindly begin to recheck the security of your seatbelt. And if you've removed any items from the overhead bins, please begin to restow them at this time. Please check around your seating area and the seat pocket in front of you for any cups, glasses, or other articles you wish to discard. Kindly hand these items to the flight attendants as they make their way through the aisle. Thank you so much. We should be landing in approximately 15 to 20 minutes.
So we're at 290, 129 miles outside of Minneapolis. On a direct, we were given a direct to Loon for approach into Minneapolis. So they're not, it's not far.
Good evening, United 1673, joining you flight level 320.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Center, speed 280 knots.
Flight level 370. Buenos dias.
Not seeing you on radar. Cycle your transponder and ident again for me.
Minneapolis Center, nomadic 408, looking to pick up our line of park level 3.
I'm working on that clearance. Stand by.
Postman 4 Echo Papa, Madrid Control, cleared by 3 Delta, arrival into Barajas. When you're ready to begin your descent, flight level 270.
Los Angeles Center, United 1673, requesting flight level 320.
They have range 3 Delta, arrival into Barajas. Don't worry, descend to flight level 270. Postman 4 Echo Papa. Echo Papa, ready to descend. Flight level 270. Descend to flight level 270. Descending to flight level 270. Flow. Postman 4 Echo Papa.
Postman 4 Echo Papa, descend, flight level 180.
Descending to flight level 180. Postman 4 Echo Papa.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Center, speed 280 knots.
Alpha, contact Bremen radar on 125.025.
I'm ignoring him.
Speed 280 knots.
We're on a managed descent. Let's see if what I can do. 8,000. VNav's not going to let us go below certain sets until it's time, so I'm putting it down to 4,000 on my altitude, and it'll let it manage its way down.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Center, speed 280 knots.
Delta 13031, unable. I can sustain 245 knots.
Maintain 245 knots.
245 knots.
Maintaining 245 knots, Delta 13031.
And altimeter there.
Delta 13031, descend via Muscle 3 into Minneapolis.
Descend via Muscle 3 into Minneapolis. Delta 13031.
We're all over it. We're good.
Delta 13031, speed 280 knots.
We're not having this conversation again. 61 miles. And we're at 170. 245 knots, not 280. ILS frequency is entered. We will be going full flaps on our final approach. Speed brake is armed. Okay, so
American 2554, heavy contact Albuquerque Center on 132.8. Cathay 102, you're leaving controlled airspace. Contact oceanic control. Primary is 119.56. 5 secondary is 132.335. American 2554, heavy, Albuquerque Center. Good evening.
Delta 13031, contact Minneapolis approach on 118.725.
all right, we're getting close.
Minneapolis approach on 118.725, Delta 13031. Minneapolis approach, Delta 13031, evening, descending past 16,000.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis approach, good evening. Minneapolis altimeter 29.71. Expect the ILS runway 12 left approach into Minneapolis.
Got it. Before we can land, we will actually pass the airport. We'll get a good look at it to our left, I think. Yeah.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis approach, speed 280 knots.
Delta 13031, unable. I can maintain 245 knots.
Delta 13031, maintain 245 knots.
What a shot. That's beautiful. That's the airport straight out there, I think. Search speeds here. 250, 240. Just
Delta 13031, descend and maintain 4000, turn left. Heading 280 vectors for the ILS runway 12 left approach. Heading 255. Delta 13031, 6 miles from Washi. Turn left, heading 150. Descend and maintain 3000 until established on the localizer. Cleared for the ILS runway 12 left approach.
Left heading 255, Delta 13031.
Alright, we're 12 miles from final. We're at 155 knots. We're at flaps at 30, and we're going to be going full flaps at 144 for final. Winds are calm.
Delta 13031, contact Minneapolis Tower on 126.7. Frontier flight 3850, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Switching to Minneapolis Tower on 126.7, Delta 13031. Minneapolis Tower Tower Delta 13031, evening. We're established on the ILS approach for runway 12 left.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Tower, winds 150 at 9er, runway 12 left, clear to land, caution bird activity.
Gotcha.
2500.
Beautiful noise. We have our go around set at 3,000.
1000.
All right, we're good. Speed brake is armed. Our spoilers, ground spoilers are armed. Throttle's mine.
400. 300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Tower. Welcome to Minneapolis. Contact ground on 133.575.
18 knots.
Please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the captain has parked the aircraft at the gate and turned off the seatbelt sign. This will be your one and only indication that it's safe for you to get up and move about the cabin. Please be reminded to use caution when opening the overhead bins to prevent injury from articles that may have shifted during landing. You may now use your mobile phones and other handheld electronic devices while we taxi to the gate. However, your laptop computers and larger electronics must remain stowed. We invite you to visit Delta.com for all your future travel needs, including checking in for a flight and managing your SkyMiles account. If any of you should have questions regarding ground transportation, baggage claim, or any other information, a Uniform Delta agent meeting this flight will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have. On behalf of Delta Sky Team, our global partners, and flight crew, we'd like to thank you all for flying with us. We've enjoyed having you on board and look forward to the opportunity to serve you once again. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening. Flight attendants, prepare doors for arrival, please. Cross-check and all call.
Speedbird 0275, Nuki Tower, winds 100 at 6, runway 12, cleared to land.
Go on the ground. Delta or United 1673, thanks.
Citation 4, Charlie Bravo, contact departure. Charlie Bravo.
That was not, I would consider that I took control of the throttle. I allowed my auto land to bring the plane in. I thought it was flaring, and it, on this particular landing, did you notice it did not look like it flared at all? We're going to go back and look at that. It put the feet per minute descent at 657. That's not good. It's not. That's not for like what you want to be around at the max 300 or less. That's not okay. In any case, let's put our GPU on. Some lights.
Delta 13031, Minneapolis Tower, winds 150 at Niner, runway 12 left, cleared to land. Caution bird activity.
Not an awful landing. Could have been better.